problem? What happened? I think maybe it just needs flipped. Oh, that kicked out. Welcome back, everybody. In the last episode, we blew up our power grid. If you haven't seen that, make sure you click on the link up in the top right corner. Check that out. We blew up our power grid basically just because we don't have enough power output. We're only producing about 600 at this facility alone. From here to here, we're putting out already consumption of 400, which is just way too much. On top of trying to run everything that's set up there, it's not enough. So we're going to upgrade both of our smelters up to miners Mark IIs. We're going to redo our entire coal section in this video, and I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get into it. So the unfortunate part is that all of this basically has to be redone. If you watched the coal plant video before, it was a bit messy, I'll give you that. This is not how I want to set this up at all, so I'm going to have to get rid of all this. The rest of the coal generators we're going to make are going to be basically going this way, so all this has to be cleared out, and we have to figure out a way to make this a lot more organized. So we're going to go ahead and delete everything. It wasn't everything, but it was most of it. It literally shut off our entire power grid, so now we have nothing. I'm going to get into placing everything down, and I will be back with an update in just a second. So now that I got everything out of the way and fully deleted, basically all I'm doing is I'm repeating the same splitter setup as I have over here. So I have 3 splitters set up, one to split it down from 120 and then into a 60, and then over here I have the same thing. So it's basically, this is going to split them down into 2 separate ones. This is splitting it into each of these, and then this is splitting it into 2 separate sides. So I'm just going to run coal generators down the sides, and then I'll have the 2 different belts that'll split off into the section, just split all the coal. I know that was a lot of split, but I just wanted to show you guys what I'm doing to kind of set everything up. I don't think I did a very good job of demonstrating how I'm setting up my coal plants in the last one, especially because it was just so messy. Then for our water lines, I'm going to be utilizing our stackable pipelines now that I'm a little bit further and I have stuff unlocked. The plan is to just run this literally right over the top of all these. So if I could set this up, like, for example, if I could put it right here, I could take this pipeline and I'll be able to run it into here. Not there. Connected. That way I have my one line, and then I also have my pipeline junction, and I can put this here, find where it's lined up at, and then connect it into this. Well, that's not gonna work. I'll have to revamp this a little bit to make it more efficient, or to actually make it be able to line up properly. Maybe if I turn this a little bit, might work. Try this. Let's go into here. No, it's too tight. So I'm gonna make an adjustment on how I have to line up this pipe. I'm gonna finish laying down all the belts and everything that I need, and then I'm gonna get back to you guys once I get an update on this pipeline. So I ran out of supply, so I had to run back to our factory and collect stuff. But I mean, look at that down there. I mean, that needs to be covered up and a little bit more organized, but that looks nice. I gotta get rid of that too. But our second coal plant is coming really good together, so everything's going good. I did kind of confuse myself, so I got to go over how I did the splitters exactly once I get back, because with them being placed in the other directions, the splitters don't line up perfectly as they did before, so they need a little bit more adjusting, but I will show you guys what I come up with in just a second. Okay, so I wanted to show you first off the design that I came up with. Basically, it's just got 2 stackable lines like this, running all the way down, and then they'll have their junctions on there, which will split off into the actual coal generators. And then how it's doing these splitters, it's a bit offsetted because these are flipped the other direction. So you have your water on the left side, and then on this side it's on the left side, but it's backwards compared to the 2. So they don't line up exactly properly. So what I did here is I got my conveyors coming down the center here. We go into the splitter. This can split off into the closest one, and then this one can just have a little right angle right there. So it's a little bit offsetted, but overall it's still a right turn, and I think that looks okay, and I can deal with that. So I hope you guys can too. I'm gonna get back to work here, make some more progress, and then I'll let you guys know in an update. Okay guys, so I went ahead and I hooked everything up. I made a little lifter section right here so it gets on the walk underneath. Ignore all this right now. I was going to run this on the front, but it was just getting really confusing with the conveyor belts right through the center and the pipes. So I have the pipes coming in on the other side, and then I have the coal coming in on this side. So I'm going to delete this. Then my next step is I'm going to go down here and I'm going to organize all this a little bit better so I can make it a little bit more of like kind of like a dock is the way I would describe it. It just kind of wrap around these with some foundations and make everything look a little bit more unified down there. I have 4 of them already. I'm gonna need 4 more to power all this. Basically, these pipelines are split into 4 different sections. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 of this, and then you have 4 for the uppers as well, and that just repeats on both sides. So you have 4 for the lower pipeline, 4 for the upper pipeline. Doesn't work out perfectly with the numbers, but that's what we're going to be doing for now. I think I might have to change it though. It might be 6 to 2. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to change this because I'm thinking about this in my head and I don't think it makes sense because it's 300 a line, I believe. Yeah, so I'm gonna switch 2 of these to the upper line on both sides, so allow 6 on the upper and then 2 on this lower end, and then I'm gonna go down there and connect all that, and I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so I thought about it some more. So it's gonna be 50 water per minute per generator. So 8 of these is producing requiring 400. These water extractors produce. Let me check this again. They're producing 120 a minute. So technically, I only need like 4 of these to power all 8. And these lines hold 300, so I could do 6 to 2. I'm just going to keep it how it is. The 200 and 200 is fine. Now there's a little bit extra in the line. If I do get a point where I can move this steel plant somewhere else, which like honestly was such a big project that I don't think I'm going to, but I do have the option if I want to add more coal generators in the future, like when I go to Mark III, then I can just utilize the water that's already in that line. That's enough of all the logistics and the numbers, all that. I just want to show you what I'm doing. So I brought this all the way down to the end, and then it's coming down here to the water level. These 4 are running over here. I did have to add this little section right here, which I can probably get rid of if I really wanted to, just to get rid of this little support line, just to make it a little bit more nicer, and I might do that. But this way it is making a nice right angle, and then this is a nice right angle as well. So that's all organized. I'm going to run this all the way down here, and then I just have my extractors right here, which will just be junctioned into the actual line itself. So it should just need, since I'm only using 4 and 4, it only needs 200 to run 4 of them on half. So if I use 2 of these, it's 240, which is 40 extra per water line, which is, it's plenty. So let me show you how I'm laying down these water extractors real quick. Basically all I'm doing is, you can see the line. So I placed the first one, but I just wanted blue, and then I wanted to get it as close as possible and then make sure it's lined up. And all I'm doing from there, I need to get more copper, but if you walk down the line, eventually hit a point where you're not hitting it anymore, and you can see like here I'm in line. It's basically the same as that. You're just kind of freeballing it, which is not the best, but if you can look at these right here, for the most part they're barely in line. I really wish there was a part where you do like a snapping section, but it's not gonna work out. I also, if I really wanted to, I could probably move this more center and then just have like individual things, but I'm fine with just a little catwalk, and these all like worked out perfectly to be like 10 of these foundations, so I'm fine with this. I think it looks a lot cleaner than it was. I'm gonna go get more copper sheets for everything, and then I'm gonna lay down the last 3 extractors, power everything, and then all I need to do is jumpstart our factory, and then we should be good to get everything back online. We have fallen so far from grace that the simple fact that I'm now standing in my factory handcrafting copper sheets to finish this project. I am so ready to get everything running again. Alrighty, so we have all of our water lines hooked up. Everything is junctioned. All of it should work. We put pumps on this to make sure everything is able to get up. This little lift here is kind of high, so we got all that set up. Everything is wired. We are going to hook this up to here, and it should start the process of kicking everything on. And it broke. There's a problem. What happened? I think maybe it just needs flipped. Oh, that kicked out. But still says the max consumption is 395, so I don't know what is hooked up to all this. Maybe it's because it's trying to hook up all of these at once. Might be the problem, because I know those draw a lot of power. Let's try 2 of them. Oh, that kicked out as well. Okay, I'm going to take a second and try to figure out what the problem is, because the capacity is way higher than the consumption and it's still kicking it out. So I'm going to see what the problem is, and I will get back to you guys in just a second. Okay, so I went down here, and it looks like this whole factory is connected to this line as well, which is all these miners and everything. So we're going to go ahead and disconnect that, and then we're going to head back over here and try to jump it real fast. Now it should work, I believe. Head over here. Try to kill myself first, and we're going to try to flick all this on again. Come on, jump. Nope, that didn't work either. Okay, well, Let's let me think of something else, and let's see if I can get this turned back on. Okay, so after changing all that and taking those wires off from the other factory, our max consumption dropped down to 188. So I'm thinking that just because the capacity is low, the production is still not high enough to cover the max consumption. So I think it's now when to try to kick on. So I'm gonna take another one of these. I think I have enough water in this one. Yeah, so I'm still full in this. So I'm gonna try to connect this real quick and see if that'll be enough to jump it. That should be 275. What is going on? Oh, because I don't have the middle one hooked up. So I'll hook that up. And now we're at the 225, so it should jump on. Yeah, the consumption shot up straight up to 172. That's why it wasn't turning on. So now this should be enough to power all of this stuff. This is all running, so I'm gonna let this run for like 5 minutes here and let all this water work its way up into the actual generators up here. And then I'm also, this should be running these miners down here, so these should be kicking on. There's our coal coming in, so we're gonna let everything get resources real quick, and then we're gonna wire everything up and jumpstart the rest of this. So I ran out of water on the other one, so I'm having to move down the line, try to activate more of these that are left over, because this is not actually getting water right now. So this is just going down. Water is right there, so it's gonna be working its way up here. So hopefully I have enough time running between all this to get all this in here. So okay, I fell. Come on, climb back up. I worked all the long way around, but I'm hoping that I got enough time now with the 4 new generators that are running. So I'm going to check that out in just a second, and I'll let you. I'm having so much trouble right now trying to jumpstart this entire thing. For some reason, all these other ones are fine, but this one isn't, which is not making sense to me because yellow, yellow. I don't understand. Like, if this is going the right way, how much the pump is pushing the fluid. It's like this isn't connecting. Like, I don't know what the problem is here, what I'm looking at. So I'm gonna I don't know, I'm gonna try to figure this out, I guess. I'll be right back. So I guess it was just some weird connection issue, because after I replaced the entire pump, or the entire like line there, it just fixed everything. So this is now running, and you're getting cold, everything else. So this is up to 300. So now, and I'm getting the coal, which is good. This is running properly. I need to make sure I have all these hooked up in the front. This one is not hooked up. Let me, I'm gonna place another power line here and get all these hooked up to just what's in the front. That way it's all organized as opposed to what I'm kind of doing right now with all the wires running everywhere. So let's hook this up, and then we're gonna get rid of this one right now, which hopefully doesn't, okay, it killed those, but it didn't kill the entire power grid, which is good. So we can hook these up here. These should all be green, and then I should be making the 600, I believe. I was before. Yep, so there's our production 600. Now, this should have everything that it needs over here. We should have water coming in. These should all be full. This is our very end one, so as long as this one's full, all the ones before it should be. So now I'm going to do basically the same thing that I just did. I'm gonna go down to the middle two right here, place this here, and then the middle two on the end. Go right here. I'll hook all these together. I'm gonna connect this down the line. Okay, and then all I need to do, why is this one red? There's no coal in it. Okay, so I'm assuming this line is missing back here. Probably just missed a step. Yep, right there. Make sure that everything else is red, or not red. Make sure everything else is green, so that's all good. The one on the end, and then this just needs to get tied into our power supply, and we've jumped up to 1200. So now I'm going to hook up our little factory right here, and then I'm going to go all the way up there and hook up that factory, and I hope everything goes good. So I'll be right back. Alright, so let's hook up our mini factory, tie it into this line right here. Now our production jumped our consumption jumped all the way up to... Why is the capacity only half? I'm missing something. Something's down. Hold on, what's going on? Why are all these red? They're not. They don't have water. This is the bottom left line that I was having trouble with. So these four are all turned off right now. And oh, don't knock me off here. Dude, what's going on, man? Like, this pipe just filled up with water, fine, and now it's just like, oh no, I'm not doing it. And then this is glitched up, and it's just playing this little sound. Like, it's just ticking, and this flow rate's all messed up. I don't know what's going on here. I mean, I can try to add another pump, but the other ones are going higher, so that doesn't make sense to me. Like, they're literally going all the same distance, so it makes no sense that this isn't working on this edge right here. Let me just put another pump on there and see if it magically fixes itself. And it's going the right direction too, like, I'm not insane, I promise. So what, we place two of them up there? Would that work? And now it's not getting flow rate. Something about this is like clipping weird and telling it that it's not a full pipe. So if I get rid of the pump, does it just magically work? Dude, this is at least filling up with water now. Something about that pipe there is telling it, okay, it doesn't want to do it. Let's try to put the pipeline below it, maybe? Maybe that will somehow work. Maybe it's just because they're all so close together and all the clippings messing with it. No, because this still is not getting water. Okay, that's filling up. Hold on. It might have fixed itself. There's your flow rate. And then this is filling up. So this works for now. We're going to hope that continues to work, and then we're going to see what happens. I think it's just glitched up. I think I made these way too tight with the way that it is. That it's not wanting to work properly. But that seemed to fix it. So we're going to try this for right now, and if I have more problems, I'll go ahead and show you guys. But I'm going to have to run all the way up there now and see if I can get that factory running as soon as all these kick on. So that's all going in there. Alright, I'll be right back. Alrighty, so we got everything hooked up now. This is our last part right here. You can see that it's still fluctuating down there, which is not good. But we're going to try to kick this on anyway, and I'm thinking we're sitting close to about 900 right now with this factory and everything down there. So I'm hoping that'll be able to maintain itself for a little bit, but I also feel like it might just crash everything. So we're going to come in here and connect this line again and see if we can get this factory running. Alright, moment of truth. Sounds like everything kicked on. Yeah, that jumped our consumption up to 950. Oh, it's going to crash. If this drops down again, 975. It's close, but I think it's going to be okay. I just need to wait a little bit longer and double check down there with that water, make sure everything's actually making it to the generators. It might be an issue with just like the head flow rate where it's not getting enough water into the pipe to actually maintain what's going on. So I'll have to check that out, and then our max consumption is still over 1200. So with everything running, we are still not producing enough power, which means we're gonna have to run off and find another solution to our power problems, which really unfortunate. And there it goes. I'm gonna run down there and try to figure it out again. So I was looking at it, and it looks like it was actually the far side that I was having trouble with. So I moved the pump from this lower line down there to the bottom as well, and now it looks like I'm getting much stronger flow. So this is holding more consistently, and then this is all good. So we're gonna see if I can get these back kicked on again. It was these last couple on the end here that are shut off, and it looks like they're getting water now. So we're going to... That number should continue to rise here. Let's see if those can stay on here. I'm gonna watch this for another second to see if I have any more water issues, and I'll get back to you in just a second. Okay, so I let it run for a little bit. After I fix that last bottom line here, we're holding really steady at 1200. We're gonna hook this back up, and then hopefully everything should run. I'm gonna have to address the fact that our max consumption is still over what our production is, but right now our main goal is just to get this factory running again. We got the line hooked up again, and we're gonna go ahead and jump it. Yeah, the consumption jumps up all the way to peaking pretty high. It's almost at like 970. I think it was just over 975 it had to be to kill everything, but everything is running again, starting and stopping. But most part, it looks like we have a factory again. All this stuff is moving. Well, I'm gonna go through and double check everything and make sure everything's running. I mean, it should be, for the most part. I will have to address that power issue because we're still way beyond what it even is, and it can very quickly, if we get everything running with the resource sinks with our smart splitters, it will just start kicking everything out. So we're gonna have to make another video about doing all this power stuff, and I really don't want to do 2 videos in a row on power, so I think I'm gonna stay like this for a little while, and I'm not gonna try to add anything more to the factory for the next episode or so. I think the next thing I really want to get started on is this highway that I talked about in the last episode. I kind of got, almost fell. I got sidetracked by this whole power issue we had because for the majority of this video, this took me about 3 hours to run all these lines and everything and make sure everything was lined up and try to record a video as well. It was a lot to get done, but we got it all running. Everything's going good. We can get back on track on what our actual projects are now that we have the factory running again. It will require a little bit of power to run the 2 truck stations, but I don't think it's going to be enough to kill us. I think the plan that we're going to do is I'm going to try to go out and explore and get some power slugs so I can get some power shards and try to double that production on both those miners. If I can get it up to 240, then I can basically extend this out, put 8 more of these down, run 4 more lines on top of the lines that I'm already running, and then make another section back behind this of the coal power plants. Or maybe I can go this way. I'm not exactly sure on how I would go about doing it, but basically I can double our production of the power, and that'll give us up to about 240, which should be, or not 240, 2,400. Sorry, it's getting late, but that'll get me up to 2,400, which should suffice enough to get through the rest of the tier list and everything that I need to finish off. In the background, I did take some time to build a lot of the project parts already. I think I'm only shy about like 40 on the that middle one there, the plates, not the plates, the like foundation support beam things, and then I still have to make the automatic wiring. But I already have all the smart platings. I already have everything else. So we are at the point now where we can move on to our next tier and get into oil and do all that stuff, which is going to be a whole slew of problems for all the stuff that I already have going on. There's going to be a lot of me getting stuff done in the background because there is a lot of work that needs to be getting done, and I can't just keep showing you guys me doing the same stuff like running around and building power grids. I hope it was interesting, but there's a lot more than I want to show you guys and a lot bigger projects I want to do with you guys as opposed to just the menial task of fixing stuff and little problems here and there. So we will have to unlock this, and then we just have our hyper tubes, which I am going to dedicate like a nice portion of one of the videos to, because this is gonna help me out a lot. I've been basically just running back and forth between this factory and that factory, and it's been a real pain because every time I need iron plates or something like rotors, I'm down there and I'm working on this, and then I have to run all the way here, run all the way around and come up. The highway will make it easier, but if I can hypertube my way around this place, it's gonna be way better for me. The stairs are nice, but I'm about tired of going up everything. So these are the last of those what are they called? They keep versatile framework. Yep. So I only have to make like 41 more of those, and over here I already have basically a full box of all the project parts that I need. So I'm getting close to it. I'm gonna focus our next episode on this vehicle transport milestone and maybe the hypertube, so I have time. But that's all I have time for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. The commentary probably wasn't the best because I was bending my mind backwards trying to understand what was going on and all the problems that I faced. But I hope it was entertaining watching me struggle. So all that being said, thank you guys for tuning in to another video. Make sure you guys comment down below, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Follow the series. I'm having really inconsistent views, and a lot of that's due to the algorithm. Some videos do really great, and then some videos do like 2 views. So if you got a friend that plays this game, or you're on Reddit or whatever it is, share this video, tell your friends about me, and hopefully we can continue to make content, and we can get a nice thing going of just you guys following this series and all the stuff we're doing with this factory. So I appreciate everything you're doing, or everything that I appreciate you guys watching, and I appreciate any comments and everything that I get. So thank you one more time. This is the end of the video. Have a good night.